We'll thank you all for joining us back in time. And we'll start with a video first.
Infertility specialists by sharpening their essential critical hands-on skills. Reprosci takes pride Metaverse for Mastery in ART. It's the limited edition. Pre-order now. Bringing hope to millions.
Okay, so we're ready to begin, shall we? Yes? Yes? There's no noise at the back at all. Good morning. Are you all here with us? Can we see your hands up? All your hands up? See, now we know who's sleeping. Are you ready? Shall we? Are you excited of what we have for you? Like I said, we have some amazing sessions, and right at the end of today, we have a networking session where VCs, startups, investors are going to meet each other. So please stay tuned, stay back for all of this lined up. With this, we'll begin second half of today's program with an innovator in the healthcare space. As you saw a video about them, they're known as Reprosci Biosciences. I'd like to invite Dr. Mayur Mukundabhai Desai, gynecologist and medical educator turned entrepreneur and investor from Hyderabad. From Ahmedabad. So you've come all the way from Ahmedabad for this. Thank you for joining us. Dr. Mahendra Narvaria. Please, sir. Sir, please. And I'll invite Mr. Navratan Kataria, who's Director, COE, IoT, and AI, to please moderate this, sir.
To see a combination of surgeons and gynecologists sitting on the dais with engineers and technocrats and interested in startups. And not only do they invest their money into it, but the amount of time and effort and guidance that they give to the startups is very rare. Let me tell you, we are trying to build that bridge between engineers, technocrats, and doctors, and here's a very great example of people who have come all the way from Ahmedabad. And maybe you are not aware, but anybody who lives in Ahmedabad knows who they are. Dr. Desai is a very well-known gynecologist. Dr. Narvaria has, I don't know how many surgery done in his lifetime. These gentlemen have invested very much on the fertilator, the equipment that is having a global launch. The founder of this, Vijay, is not on the stage for one simple reason. He is very tired of coming back from Italy, where he had a global launch last week. I would like to ask Dr. Desai, from all the different type of medical devices, why did he invest into a femtech device? Not a very common situation to be in.
Addressing a very upcoming problem in a woman's health. In an era of a planned parenting, I think most of the women of tomorrow is going to plan their pregnancy and going to work out in a way that they have a pregnancy at a desired time rather than a default thing. And that is what is very evident from mushrooming of IVF center across the country. And in various other countries like Europe, Japan and all, there is a lot of shrinking population because fertility is not what is being reflected as what it used to be. So in a support of that, we'll have to have a lot of trainers who are competent to handle an IVF ET tomorrow. And that is where the fertility and the metaverse reality, metaverse with AI and VR will come into play to train a lot of gynecologists. Like the first challenge for India, when we have an airline boom, was to create an airline simulator. we train our pilot in a simulator, and that's where they get certified initially before assisting somebody. That's the same reality which is going to reflect upon us for a human being.
MedTech devices usually take much longer time and requires a lot of patience through a lot of clinical trials, and I am told because they are our incubators, so we know a little better about them. They're trying to get into an area of clinical trials, then they go from training to actually remote controlling and assisting procedures, and then perhaps, and what their vision is, could India become a big hub of training remotely across the globe? If that is the vision, why do you think it will be a great success?
Like recently in last 1 year, in Ahmedabad, a cardiologist performed a remote heart intervention, angioplasty was performed by a cardiologist sitting 25 miles away from his clinic. Now that's the reality of the world. Tomorrow, for a lot of developed countries and developing countries, when manpower is shrinking, skilled manpower is shrinking. That is, if been made real, that would go a long way into participating and supporting a lot of medical interventional aids. And that's how the reality would come into play.
Now that you're doing an India launch, it's very rare that you have a global launch preceding an India launch. Here is an occasion, and I think we should give them a big clap to
Thank you very much.
start and announce that this is available. When do you think this is available for the gynecologists and the would-be gynecologist experts?
I think after the SRA's recommendation of few things, we are going to be ready with the product in next 60 days. So by the end of October, it is going to be available to an Indian market for professionals to be used. It is not more than 3 months away.
5G, just before that we talked before lunch, is something which will support your remote assisted procedures as well. I hope there's a big synergy between what we talked in the morning and in the afternoon. And we wish all the best to doctors and the co-founders. Any last concluding words to the startups who are into healthcare?
I think infertility is major issue, like it's lifestyle disease now. The way obesity is increasing, infertility is increasing, and more so when everybody is working now, there is hardly any time for the family, and people plan everything. Nowadays, women are donating or they are freezing their eggs to be used in the future. So similarly, I think IVF has a future, and we need experts to deal with and this kind of. So this kind of devices, like when I learned robotic surgery, I worked for 1 week only on simulator before even I could enter the animal lab and then to the human being. So similar kind of thing, if we can develop to enhance the skills of a surgeon or gynecologist, I think that the most important contribution to the society.
I'll finally request you to please guide some of the MedTech devices founders here. Please give them your gyan of many years of experience that you have with you.
Most of the medtech device founders are great researchers. They really have a passion for their subject. But what they lack is an organizational strength. I think NESCOM could devise some structure in which they can be provided with an organizational support and structure which can take them to a long way. That would be great. Thank you.
That's our job. Yeah. Thank you.
In fact,
Thank you
we
for
are very thankful to you for allowing us and inviting us to present our product and research. Thank
It's
you.
our pleasure.
My heartiest congratulations to NESCOM for conducting such things and bringing a lot of such entrepreneurs into the same table. That's great. Thank you.
I think it deserves clap. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.